So your book is called Fortitude, and in the book you kind of separate it from resilience, this like individual trait that we can try and teach in schools and etc. So what exactly is fortitude, and how does it differ from what we might know as resilience?
Yeah, the reason why I sort of wince a bit from the resilience word is that I've got a friend who works at a hospital in North London, and she said, if you mention resilience around here, people will punch you in the face. She said, she gave me an example. She said, during the midst of the pandemic, when there was just extreme burnout, people were working relentless hours, they were witnessing all manner of horrors, and someone put a notice on the wall saying resilience training on Thursday, and it's sort of symptomatic of what we often witness. Actually, it's kind of a toxic reframing to say that the reason why we're not coping with these excessive demands is because we're not resilient enough. Seems to be, a deliberate manipulation. It seems to be sort of gaslighting a bit. Oh, it's a shame you can't cope with this. Why aren't you very resilient? And I think we've witnessed that. A lot of modern work has got people connected to their phones for 60 hours a week, needing to be checking for emails all hours of day and night. And then when people are burnt out, someone says, we're going to send you on a resilience webinar. It's like, hang on, I'm sure that is not the issue here. And so that was it, that with a weariness of the resilience word, and I end up using resilience all the time, but with the weariness of it, I thought, well, let's take a step back. And rather than all these training courses that actually, it's worth people looking into. And I went in great depth actually to the resilience courses used in schools, or mindset stuff that's used in schools. And you and I have talked about mindset before. But the evidence for these things, they're actually quite charming stories, and I support the story behind them. But the evidence for them is sometimes a little bit more shaky than what was sold in the pamphlets. And so I thought, okay, well, let's take a step back from that. Now, if we do see resilience all around us, the people of Ukraine, the sort of the people who are just prevailing despite all of the demands upon them, let's reframe. Let's start with a new word. And so that's it. So my feeling is, fortitude is the strength we draw from each other, and trying to understand that is really critical, because I suspect most people in a school environment will know that when teachers feel a strong sense that the staff feel that, we're all in it together, there's a strong collective sense, or maybe schools you've taught in, you've thought actually there was a real bond amongst those teachers, right? That's actually one of the things we characterize. I actually, my whole fascination with workplace culture predates me working in any sort of serious job. I used to work in bars and restaurants, and there were some bars and restaurants you would go in and you'd think, oh, right, this is going to be horrible working here. There was just something about it where there was like a real dog eat dog attitude. No one seemed to trust each other. And there were some places where, truly you'd come back from a shift and you'd think, I've laughed all night, I've had so much fun, it's a late night, but actually it doesn't feel like I've worked. And I became fascinated with what made that place really good and that place really bad, the dynamics. And what you realize very quickly, there's no huge mistake to it. When people feel a strong sense of cohesive affiliation, when they feel a bond with each other, it not only uplifts them, it makes them feel able to deal with, relentless work demands or things upon. So I think, that for me is the critical thing. Knowing that fortitude is the strength we draw from each other helps us try to recreate it, really.